Hi, welcome to Big Hat Homestead. Today we're going to make some inexpensive raised beds. And the way I was able to get these raised beds at a discount is there's a lumber section in my local hardware store, and they have 70% off on. It's a little bit damaged, but it'll do the job. And what they do is they mark it with a purple stripe, and sometimes they'll put a stamp on it, but any of that wood that's on those carts would be 70% off. So that's what I used. I used 12-inch, 12-foot boards, and I also used 6-inch, 8-foot boards, and I had them all cut down to 4 feet each. The store will do that for free. And the next thing you will need are the blocks. They're called planter blocks. And this is how you secure the boards together. You don't need any tools. These slots here are where you would slide the board down into. And they're approximately $3 each. They have gone up since the pandemic. They used to be about $150 to $180. But that is the price of those bricks. And you don't have to use the bricks. You can, if you want to, screw the boards into each other, or if you have an old 4x4, you can cut that down and use that as supports for the sides and screw those in together. But I'm showing these simple raised beds, no tools needed, just a little sweat equity. The first thing we're going to do is move one of the beds over, and then we will construct a few different scenarios so you can see what works best for your situation. I like the fact that you can move the beds over and they're straight, because you can use the blocks and a piece of wood to just kind of measure out the space, and it'll fit in that slot, and it gives you whatever spacing you want. We want it 4 feet in between the beds. And then another thing is we can hook it up and just slide the dirt over to the new spot. So that was pretty neat as well. And this is good if you're gardening in a small space. Sometimes the recommendation is to keep certain plants at least 4 feet away. So that makes it easy to measure it, and then you can have everything neat and organized in your small area. And this is the part where we're just moving that dirt over to the new location. And it makes it really easy, because once the dirt is moved over, you can just close off that one end and then move the remaining bed to the new location. Okay, now we're putting the board in to close off the raised bed in its new location. The boards we're using are the 12-inch boards and the 6-inch boards. I prefer the 12-inch because it's one solid piece, but both of them will work well, and we did get this as discounted lumber, so that makes a difference in what you choose, and they both serve the same purpose. The bed we're moving over is one of our sweet potato beds, and we found a few more in there. So, that was a lucky find, and we will enjoy those sweet potatoes.
Still pulling sweet potatoes up.
Baby, what you say?
Still pulling sweet potatoes up.
Oh, really? You found some? Now, this is the part where we're going to take apart the old bed and, just remove the rest of that dirt over to the new bed. But this is good for you to see how easy it is to take it apart. And I do use ground cover just to keep the weeds down. You can cut in that and go deeper in the ground if you like. I choose the ground cover because our weeds out here are relentless. They will choke your plants out. And, I want my gardening experience to be enjoyable, and I don't want to spend, 80 or 90% of my time weeding. And the next thing we're doing is moving the melon patch box spring over. This is the box spring mattress we converted to a raised bed because there was wood inside. We were tearing it down because it wouldn't fit in the car, and we were like, oh, wow. So we decided to use that, And it worked pretty well. The only issue is you really need to fill it up to the top. We didn't have enough soil in it, but I'm going to continue to use these until, they fall apart. I'll probably get a couple more seasons out of it. So that's just something else around the house you may be able to find that you can find useful. And now the part you've been waiting for, how to put the raised beds together. And we will show different configurations. And I even have a cinder block bed that I think is pretty neat. So you'll see all of that in this video, and I hope you enjoy it. This is really an easy process. All you do is put your board in place and add your side block. We're using double blocks because we have a 12-inch board, but you could do the 6-inch board and do one block per corner, but I prefer the height of the 12 inches. So again, you only need one block per corner if you're using the 6-inch boards. And this is just a close-up of what the block looks like. It probably weighs a few pounds. And that was it for that first raised bed. This next raised bed, we're going to use the 6-inch boards so you can see how to put it together. You're going to do the same process. You're just going to slide the two boards in if you're going to do the 12-inch. But if you don't want the 12-inch, just use one block per corner and use it that way. And we'll also show an example of that. Some of the garden centers have examples of how to put these raised beds together. You can go as high as you want. I've seen some with 4 boards, and then they step down to 3 boards and 2 and 1 to have all of the beds connected yet separated in between at different levels. And that's it for the second raised bed. See how quick and easy that is? Finished raised beds. And this one has the 2 boards for each, which equals 12. And then these over here have a 12-inch, 12-inch, which it was a 8-foot board, and I had the store cut them down. These are all 4 by 4-foot raised beds. We're going to fill the bottom of these with wood chips, and then we'll put soil in there so you don't need as much soil. I will show that in the next video when we plant our fall crops. And this is the first dual configuration. We're going to show you a few others. And here's another configuration. We're going to put multiple beds together. So for this one, we're just going to use the 6-inch board. If you notice there in the back, there are 2 6 inches that make 12-inch height, but you can go from the 12 inches down to 6 inches. So we're going to show you what the 6-inch board looks like, just in case you want to do a shorter height. Next, we're going to show how to connect multiple raised beds together. And that's it for this first configuration. You have the 12-inch high connected to the 6-inch high raised bed, and we're making another one in the back. And this is something you can work on by yourself, or you can have someone help you. Right now, both of us are working on making this configuration, one in the back and one on the side. And here's another configuration. It's actually 4 raised beds. You have the 3 6 inches and the 1 12. And next we're going to do one of my favorite configurations, and I believe this is the one I'm going to use for my fall crops because I liked having that lower area I can put onions in there or lettuce, shallow rooted plants, and it's a good spacing. Okay, we're finished with this final configuration. What do you guys think? I love it. We're going to pan over to the other raised bed so you can see our new configuration for our fall garden. The last raised bed we're going to show you is a cinder block bed. I've never had one, but I do like the way it looks, and I like how it has all the outside slots. You can put herbs in there or flowers. So this will be our first time using this type, and I hope you enjoy watching us put it together. And we purchased 12 cinder blocks, and they range from 137 to 149. It just depends on the type you get. And the configuration we ended up using was 14 blocks. We had 2 extra at the house. It just made it a little bit bigger, but the 12 cinder blocks also made an adequate raised bed. We just liked the 14 blocks better. Okay, here's the 12 block configuration. Next, we're going to do another 12 block configuration, but this one is going to be a little wider and more evenly spaced, whereas the other one is more narrow. And here's the other 12 block configuration. I'm putting a cutout so you can kind of see the difference. One's wider and one's narrower, but they both are 12 blocks. The next raised bed and last configuration is going to be using 14 blocks. We did have 2 extra. As you can see, the other ones look new and the other one is worn, but it still works the same. So we'll show you what this looks like. And here's the third version, and this is the one we're going to keep. And now I'm just going to run through all the different raised bed configurations we covered in this video. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you for watching. Bye.